From the hood to college, both worlds they had to meet. 6 degrees between us, so cold, we're about to freeze. But we're Florida boys, hot takes, we bring the heat. We're moving the culture, the engineers to the streets. Yo, what's good, The doctor's in the house. What's poppin'? Y'all know what time it is. My mic ski. Appreciate it. Get right. Appreciate everybody in the stream right now, too, man. Hold on, my YouTube subscriber count looking wonky. Let's get that situated right now. That look crazy. No, I don't see no numbers on there. That look wild. There we go. Get that 1450, you know what I'm talking about? That's growth, baby. Appreciate y'all coming through, man. Appreciate you coming through. My boy Merle in the building. Big member in the building. Let's get right, man. Appreciate you, brethren. What's good? You know, before we get to the shenanigans and the boxing talk, we got to handle our priorities. And our biggest priority every day, all day, any day, is to thank our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. So please bow your head. Let's go ahead with this swift prayer. You know, let's get right to it. Please bow your heads. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for letting us see this wonderful Sunday, the first day of the week. Lord, please let us start off our first day of the week with our best foot forward and approach this upcoming week, the start of the week, with the attitude of appreciation, with the attitude of gratitude, you know, and an attitude of praise, Lord, and praise you for all the wonderful things that you have done for us and the things that you have protected us from, whether we acknowledge it or it's unbeknownst to us, because there's a lot of situations that you keep us out of by sometimes closing the door that we want to open and change the timing of that opening or even diverting us or redirecting us in another path or another direction, you know, for us to succeed and conquer and flourish as well as you intended, Lord. Thank you for all your blessings, Lord. Rest in peace, our fallen soldiers throughout the week, Lord, and please bless us with great health, wealth, and emotional ease, you know, whether it's mental health, physical health, financial health, spiritual health, everything, Lord, for us and our loved ones. Through Jesus' name, amen. Amen. Justin in the building, big member in the building. God bless you as well, man. Happy Sunday, brethren. Happy Sunday, man. So today, let's get it popping. We want to talk about some good stuff. You see the addition right there, though. You see that? That's George right there, man. He got added to the Wall of Fame. You know what I'm saying? Being our first interviewer, first interviewee of Dr. Boxing Talk. You know what I'm saying? He has to go down in the annals of history for Dr. Boxing Talk, DBT. You know what I'm saying? George Jakovic, a.k.a. GJ, a.k.a. G Jizzle. You know what I'm talking about? So he all there. That's a picture that he provided, by the way. You know what I'm talking about? He said he wanted to fit the theme. You know what I'm talking about? He getting this grown man gangsta on. You know, I love it. You know what I'm saying? We need good gangsters out there, man. You know, to keep those nerds and the goofies in check. So let's get right, man. First things first, we're gonna start off with a recap of the weekend. Of yesterday, rather. It still is a weekend. A recap of yesterday, and of course, we got to start off with ladies first, man. Big salute to the queen. So we starting off with Sky Nicholson. You know what I'm saying, in that proper fashion, man. She fought Diana Vargas, who was a game fighter, a tough fighter, man. Speaking of gangsters, I might need to put Diana Vargas on this gosh dang wall. You know what I'm talking about? Because she was looking like a straight thug mistress. You know what I'm talking about? Oh my goodness, she would have scared me. If my sister or my niece or my cousin, my girl cousin was fighting Diana Vargas, I ain't gonna lie, I'm about to jump in with an elbow drop or something. Cause she was looking too thug. She had a chin up and looking like, well, I'm talking about, Diana Vargas. But, you know, and she has a reputation to go with that, right? I believe she's 19-1. Prior to last night, of course. I believe she's 19-1, and 19 of those wins coming by way of knockout. 12 of those wins coming by way of knockout. So she had a high KO percentage. But, you know, a lot of her KOs came early, and that's what Sky Nicholson knew. You know, she being a cerebral fighter that she is, very slick fighter. She went to work and outboxed her, outclassed her, man. You know, she started stunting on her. You know, it was funny at the beginning of the round, you know, Diana Vargas was doing the chicken dance and trying to imply that Sky Nicholson was running away. But she wasn't really running. She was just outboxing her, outpointing her. Every time Diana Vargas tried to get started, she would pop, hit her with a jab, pop, double jab, you know. And I just think Sky Nicholson, man, she looked good. She did the same thing. She victimized and brutalized Sarah Mahfoud. Her last fight had her frustrated. And then it was funny, you know, what goes around comes around. Now in the later rounds, you know, Sky Nicholson hit Diana Vargas with the same chicken dance. You know, she be dancing. I don't know why Diana Vargas did that. Sky Nicholson is the wrong one to dance to. You know, she was pop locking and dropping against Sarah Mahfoud with the TikTok dances looking like Fortnite. But yeah, so Sky Nicholson made it look easy, and you know, she beat Diana Vargas and at the featherweight division. And like I said, she's a great champion out of Australia, a young champion, and she's been calling out Amanda Serrano, who has a fight coming up. Of course, Amanda Serrano has a rematch with Katie Taylor in November, but she has somebody she's fighting in September, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe it's later this month, or in August. Might be in August or later this month. She's fighting. I can't remember her name, the young lady's name, but. You know, Sky Nicholson has been calling out Amanda Serrano for a while, and hopefully we can see that fight, man. I think that would be a good fight, but I don't know. Amanda Serrano hasn't really been paying attention. Oh, and Big B Jizzle, you know what I'm talking about? Baby gangster. Big Boots rearranging faces. Yeah, Boots is doing his thing, man. We gonna get to that. And I also want to, man. So big salute to one of the queens out there, man, doing her thing, Sky Nicholson. Now we gotta go to the Kings right now, man. We gotta go to big salute to Solomon Sagawa, man. Solomon Sagawa, in the featherweight division, he beat Ruben Villa by way of upset. You know, he's a Ugandan fighter, man. Big salute to Uganda. You know what I'm talking about? He came out there and handled business with an upset. So you know, we have a new name in the featherweight division, man. You know, so he beat Ruben Villa. We'll probably have a rematch. I don't know. But yeah, that was a good fight too. I got to catch some of that. And yeah, so let's go to the meat and potatoes. After that transition, I think he's gonna make a name now, but he's not really that big of a name right now until he gets a real big belt. But Farmer, man, Tevin Farmer. A lot of people are saying Tevin Farmer was robbed. I'm gonna be honest, of course. You know, stupidly, you know, I was so bad. We had a great night of boxing, but my one and only gripe was why the freak did Top Rank and Matchroom have their fights on, you know, ESPN and DAZN respectively have on their freaking fights at the same time. Bro, Janibek was the main event. That was the original main event. That gets canceled. Janibek versus wasn't it Mikhailovich? I believe Andre Mikhailovich. That was canceled. So if one of your fights, if your main event was canceled, how the hell do you still run your main event at the same time as the Matchroom main event? So, you know, I missed the Tevin Farmer and Raymond Muratalla. I missed the first four rounds because obviously I wasn't going to leave from Jerron Boots Ennis for David Avaneysayn. So by the time David Avaneysayn, Jerron Boots Ennis ended, they were already 4 rounds into Tevin Farmer and Raymond Muratalla. So I picked up at the 5th round. I remember distinctively I scored it. I gave rounds 5, 6, and 7 to Tevin Farmer, and I gave 8, 9, and 10 to Muratalla. But you got to remember, in round 8, there was a point deduction. I thought it was a little premature. I didn't like that call. I like that ref, too. That ref's usually good, but I thought that was a wrong decision to give that point deduction. But all in all, in the totality of things, the grand scheme of things, that point deduction didn't matter because it would have just been a majority decision because it was a unanimous decision in favor of Muratalla. So that point deduction would have changed one of the scorecards to be in a draw, but the other two would have been heavily in favor of Muratalla, so it didn't matter. Now I went back and watched it last night, caught the first couple rounds and the highlights. I think Tevin Farmer won, I'm gonna be honest, but I'm not too mad at that because to me it kind of reminded me of a similar fashion of Nick Ball versus Ray Ford. It was a close fight. I thought Ray Ford won that fight. But I could understand you give it to Nick Ball because he was very active. He was substantially more active than Ray Ford. And sometimes people can confuse activity with effectiveness. Ray Ford was more effective, but he didn't fight with urgency, in my opinion. So I thought Ray Ford won, but I was okay with Nick Ball getting it. You know, but I thought would have leaned to Ray Ford. So with Tevin Farmer now, I thought Tevin Farmer, he wasn't taking any rounds off, but he wasn't as aggressive. First of all, he's not a big knockout artist. You know, he was outboxing Ray Muratalla, and if he was going to win, that's how a lot of us, including myself, would have anticipated him to win, you know, by outboxing Raymond Muratalla. But I thought he did it. He was more effective than I thought. And a lot of times making Raymond Muratalla look kind of outclassed. But Raymond Muratalla started coming on, and he almost stopped him he almost dropped him, not stopped. He almost dropped him was that the 11th round or 12th round? I believe it was the 11th round where he hit him with a big shot, had his eyes rolled back of his head. Well, you know, Tevin Farmer got the one eye over there. So one eye was in the back of his head. The other eye was at the corner of his elbow. The force with a cry.
Yeah.
Let me chill out. I'll just play God forgive me. It is a Sunday. But yeah, but Tevin Farmer. So with that being said, Tevin Farmer was more busy, but I feel like the effective punches were landed by Muratalla. The more effective punches, the ring generalship, you could definitely lean towards Raymond Muratalla. He was more aggressive, and some people like aggression. Now, was it effective aggression? That's the question. I feel like sometimes Tevin Farmer handled it very well, and if you include those first 4 rounds that I missed, I gave three of those 4 to Tevin Farmer. So in my opinion, Tevin Farmer would have slightly won. But once again, I'm not too upset about it because we should always be upset when the wrong person wins. But it was a close fight that went either way. But sometimes when you got to know the odds are stacked against you. You got to fight with that urgency, man. And but I thought Tevin Farmer should have won though. In my personal opinion. Justin in the building. What's good? Don't laugh at that, man. We gonna go somewhere we don't belong. You know what I'm talking about? We can't be going to hell on a Sunday. We tried to get you on the car yesterday. Where Claude at? Claude in the building. Yeah, I did, man. Claude be selling, bro. I'm down to run some car later on, though, man. They're ridiculous. Yeah, they ruined my 14 leg is crazy, Justin. You wallet. You got too many legs out there, bro. You tripping. But yeah, so I'm okay with Muratalla winning. And of course, he's a star, so you can't really be too surprised. We watch boxing. Of course, also, it's Top Rank. And we know what Bob Arum be doing, you know. Like I said, there's some questionable calls throughout the history of boxing. But if you look at the history of the boxing and look at the questionable calls that transpire, I guarantee you that there's a higher frequency involving Top Rank than any other promotional company, whether it's Matchroom, PBC, Golden Boy. I'm telling you now, this is just observations. You pay attention. You know what I'm saying? Top Rank robs people more than most. I mean, look at those 2 robberies we just had. Ocean Key Foster, Robson Kasesau. That was a robbery. A week before that, what happened? Guess who it was? It was Abraham Nova versus Andres Cortez. It was robbery. Guess who it was? Top Rank again. So, you know, and guess who hopped in the ring mad that Jack Catterall beat Josh Taylor in the rematch? It was Bob Arum hopping in the ring. Even though they got footage of him sleep during the fight, but he woke up angry, hopped in the ring talking about Josh Taylor got robbed. No, he didn't. The right thing happened. If anything, Jack Catterall got robbed the first time, so he got his recompense. But he actually did win. You know, so I just think that, you know, Bob Mafia, man, he's 93 years old. You know, he got some ties, got some skin in the game. He be doing his thing. You know what I'm talking about? So, yeah, sometimes it pays to be with Top Rank. Sometimes it doesn't. Right now, for Shakur, we can talk about it doesn't pay for Shakur, you know. We're going to transition to Shakur, man. So after Muratalla won, guess who he called out? He called out Berinchyk. I'm cool with that. Dennis Berinchyk, the Ukrainian fighter, just beat Emmanuel Navarrete. He has a champion. He has a belt he's a belt holder at 135. I'm cool, you know. Both top rank affiliated, you know, not directly signed to Top Rank, Dennis Berinchyk, but affiliated, right? But then he has the audacity. He was so audacious. I couldn't believe. Bro, I had to rewind my TiVo. I said, hold on. Did he just say what I? This man Raymond Muratalla called out Shakur Stevenson.
What?
He said, I want to fight Berinchyk, but if I can't get Berinchyk, I want to fight Shakur Stevenson. Bullshit! 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 I said, Muratalla, I like your young brother, but who do you think you're fooling, bro? Shakur Stevenson been on Top Rank since 2017. Shakur Stevenson called you out before, including Lomachenko. Nobody wanted to fight him. Even Berinchyk. Berinchyk had the audacity to call out. I'm like, bro, what's going on? Berinchyk just called out Shakur too with the whole video. It's cute. It's cool. But y'all want to conveniently call out Shakur Stevenson when he didn't re-up on his contract with Top Rank? So you ain't want to call him out a couple months ago? You ain't want to call him out a couple years ago? You ain't want to call him? Like, what are we doing, man? That's the stuff that we be talking about with boxing, man. I wouldn't be surprised if Bob Arum didn't personally call or DM Berinchyk and Muratalla to call out Shakur Stevenson right now. You know, to try to bait him into re-signing or something. But it's just crazy, man. I don't like Fugazi stuff, and that was Fugazi. I ain't gonna lie, bro. That was weak. That was weak as hell. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I like Muratalla, but that was weak as hell. Don't call. If you gonna call out anybody, don't call out Shakur. Nobody from Top Rank should call out Shakur. I'm not gonna. Nobody from Top Rank should call out Shakur for about at least 10 months. Give me 10 months. You know what I'm talking about? I just think that's so corny, bro. I think that's so fake, and I think that's so corny. But I couldn't believe he had the audacity to do that. I said, this man is audacious for real. But yeah, so he called out Shakur. I'm like, bro, chill out, bro. And Berinchyk called out Shakur. I'm all right with Berinchyk because Berinchyk, like I said, he's not really signed directly to Top Rank, but it's just like affiliate, third party type stuff. I'm okay with that. All right, a little bit. I'm a little less disappointed. But Raymond Muratalla, shut the hell up. Shut up. Don't be calling out damn Shakur, bro. I know, man. I told P I don't be on the court looking at Farmer C straight when he gets rocked. That's crazy. He said Farmer C straight when he gets rocked.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. But yeah, man. So I just don't really like the pump faking with the call outs. And I kind of feel like Bob Arum, it could even be a setup and that he's trying to bait Shakur to sign back. And maybe if he does sign back, maybe Bob Arum will give him these fights. But I just feel like, you know, the fact that these fights didn't happen and he's been signed with Top Rank for so long, I personally, if it was me, which is not me, obviously, if it was me, I would take my chances with another promotional company, particularly Eddie Hearn. I think Eddie Hearn is probably the best way to go because I think that Shakur Stevenson needs a vocal presence out there on social media and in the media in general that isn't him. Because Shakur, while I respect his game, let's face it, he's a born fighter, and I don't really care for him when I hear him talk and stuff like that. He seems like an annoying, entitled child, like too sensitive and stuff like that. It's okay to bite back because when people talk trash to me on YouTube, I'll bite back in my little comments. I'm not popular. Who am I? You know what I'm saying? I'm not popular at all like that to the capacity of which Shakur is. However, when he does, it just seems like he's always complaining about something. You know what I'm saying? That's the energy. It doesn't give off, like, in my opinion now, it doesn't give off like, oh, you talking trash, I'm talking trash back, I'm getting buck with you. You know what I'm saying? It gives off like, oh, I'm a little kid and I'm mad at you. How dare you talk about me? And I can't believe it. I'll call my mommy on you if I want. You know, that's just the vibes that I get. It might not be true, but that's just the vibes I get, man. So I think that what Eddie Hearn brings to the table for Shakur is that Eddie Hearn, whether he's the best promoter from a holistic standpoint, like from the entirety of his promoting capability when it comes to matchmaking and being there for your fighter, I don't know. But when it comes to the gift of gab and when it comes to talking in media and getting people to listen, Eddie Hearn is the best promoter right now. Al Heyman for PBC, we don't really see him, right? Leonard Ellerby's pretty good, but he's kind of not with, you know, I don't know, he's with GTD and Gervonta Davis, but I don't know how much he's working with other fighters, so that's kind of off the table. Oscar De La Hoya, he talks, but he seems like every time he talks, he really wants to, he forgot that he's a retired boxer. He be talking about, he be acting like he gonna go and beat the fighters in the ring himself, you know? So I think that's a little confrontation. That's not what Shakur needs. And then, Frank Warren, and no one's really thinking about Queensberry. He doesn't really have an imprint in America like that. Who else? Bob Arum, he already had experience with Bob Arum in Top Rank, so I think he should leave that behind. So in my personal opinion, I think Eddie Hearn does a job, but like I said, there's always pros and cons with everything, right? And the caveat with Eddie Hearn and Matchroom is that they're stable at 135 is by far the weakest. Now, I know I've been saying this a lot, but those of you that are new to the stream, you know, let's go through the 135 stable for the major promoters. Golden Boy, they have William Zepeda and Floyd Kid, Austin Schofield, and some others, right? You know, PBC most famously has Gervonta Davis, Frank the Ghost Martin, and some others. You know, at Top Rank, of course, they have Lomachenko, Abdullah Mason, Raymond Muratalla, Keyshawn Davis, etc. But, you know, he's been unsuccessful again those fights, you know, with Bob Arum. So Eddie Hearn doesn't have anybody at 135, but he does have people at 140. He has Liam Paul at 140. He has Subriel Matias affiliated. He has Jack Catterall, Regis Prograis. So he has some people at 140. And then he has some people at 130 as well, but he doesn't have anybody right at 135. So from a competitive standpoint in his current division, you know, Eddie Hearn is probably the weakest. But like I said, I think Eddie Hearn can make those fights happen. And guess what? Now we also got to include the impact of Big Turkey Al-Sheikh. So he's facilitated these fights from across the street promotions, making them happen more effectively and make them happen easier. You know what I'm saying? Facilitating it. That's just the definition of the word. So there's kind of less of a... It's not he didn't eliminate the obstacles of across promotional fights, but he kind of reduced and minimized the hindrance of that. So, you know, I think I personally and we know Eddie Hearn has a good rapport with Turkey Al-Sheikh, and then also Golden Boy and Matchroom, they're both their broadcasting platform is both the zone, so they already kind of work together, you know. So I think Eddie Hearn is just the best in my personal opinion for Shakur. All right, let me catch up to the chats now. He said Shakur going to be on Twitter with a response. Facts. He going to come up after my head top. I know, man. He said he said Left Hook Lazy was good and Left Hook Lazy in the building. Madrigal, Justin Cathy says Madrigal going to be too much for, but hey, I like that. I disagree, but I like that. I like that, Justin. We going to talk about that. I hope he don't get it too damaged for the Boots fight, which he should sign the contract now before the 3rd. Man, I don't know, Justin. I like that, though. I like that. I'm not mad at that prediction. I disagree. I think Bud's going to win, but, you know, I just think Bud's that capable. But I do agree with you I do concur that people are sleeping on Madrigal. I think Madrigal is going to put up a bigger fight and a better fight than people anticipate. You saw Keyshawn and Frank Martin? Yeah, I saw that. They've been talking about fight, but yeah, I saw reignite that back and forth and their banter recently. Yes, sir, I saw it. You made Shakur sound like the dad from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. I'm telling you, gave him a white voice named Bill. Martin don't want that. He's going to take 2 L's in a row. Well, I mean, there's video, documented proof. Frank Martin walked down on Keyshawn. You know, this was before the Tank fight, of course. I don't think that bodes well for him either. I think Frank Martin and Keyshawn Davis is a good fight right now, but I don't think that. I think that's too much of a high-risk fight coming off your first L. I think he should get a tune-up fight. Hell, Teofimo just got his tune-up fight, and he came off of a W off of Jermaine Ortiz. He just looked bad. So he got a tune-up fight. Steve Claggett, he looked bad again. But even Shakur, he came off a dub against Edwin De Los Santos, but he looked bad, and then he came and he beat Arnold Hunter Union in an impressive fashion. So if you come off a L, I think he deserves a rebound fight. So I don't think he should fight Keyshawn immediately, but I would like that fight afterwards. In my personal opinion, I think that's a good fight. I'm not sure who I pick on that one. I think it's a pick-up fight, man. But maybe I give the Ghost too much credit, but I don't know. But and then let's tackle what Justin Cathy says. Madrigal is gonna be too much for Bud. I disagree, but you know, it's going to be Bud's debut at 154. Madrigal is a young fighter. Well, he's 10-0, but he's a champion. You know, he's coming from the Eastern European circuit where, you know, they prepare their fighters very well at the amateur level and before. You know, they have boxing. They have schools dedicated to boxing. We go to school in America to work on our English and our literature and our history and our mathematics. They go to school to break somebody's face, you know, so it's different. But so he's definitely prepared, but I just think Bud is just too good, man. Bud is different. He's a different animal. I think it's going to be a closer fight than we expect, but I think Bud's going to stop him in 10. And I think he's just going to break him down, man. Bud is an exceptional talent. But if Israel Madrimov, I do think people are sleeping on. I think people are thinking it's going to be a gimme because they don't know who Israel Madrimov is. Man, even his last fight against Kurbramov, that was a good fight. You know, he's a strong, capable fighter. So athletic, too. I think people don't realize how athletic Madrimov is as well. But I think Bud's going to be, he's too technical, you know what I'm saying? Be able to switch back and forth from orthodox to southpaw seamlessly. I think he has too many tools, man. Please like the video. Thank you, Abdul in the building. What's good, man? I'm good, man. How you doing, man? How you doing, King? Let's get right, man. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you coming through, man. Keyshawn at 135. Yeah, clone. Keyshawn's 135. Yes, sir. So yeah, man. So I think we covered speaking of that too, I want to transition to the Boots, man. Thank you for talking about Bud. Boots, man. Boots, of course, has another common opponent with Bud, right after last night, David Avaneysayn. His other common opponent is Thomas Delorme. I don't really give Boots any credit for that because when Bud beat Thomas, it was a different Thomas Delorme, you know. And then some people say that Boots hit him in the back of the head. I'm not going to take away that either. But the fact that he beat Thomas Delorme faster than Bud, that's no indication of nothing. You know what I'm saying? I seldomly think that they're having a commonality of an opponent is an indication of anything significant. But I do think Avaneysayn is indicative of something because I respect Avaneysayn. I think that he fought a good version of Avaneysayn. I still think Bud fought a better version of Avaneysayn, but it was only 1.5 years to 2 years ago. So I think that Avaneysayn, maybe I'm giving Avaneysayn too much credit, but I think he's a solid, formidable fighter, a good fighter. So I think he's like a fringe contender championship level fighter. He was a former champion before. I think he was elevated from interim, if I'm not mistaken. I have to go back and look. So correct me if I'm wrong. Feel free. But I think that him beating him one round before Bud means nothing to me. It means little to nothing. But it's the fashion in which he beat him. You know, I think it means something. However, I was impressed with Boots. You know, I know y'all told y'all this before. I was never really big on Boots. Not because I don't think he has the talent. Not because I don't think he has the ingredients to make a recipe for a pound-for-pound fighter. But it's because I'm very big on proving yourself. And he has looked very impressive, similar to Virgil Ortiz. But they looked impressive against who? Raymond Villa is not really a good. He's an okay fighter. He's, you know, but is he good? Is he a champion? No. Is he a, you know, maybe a contender level fighter? But I don't know how good he is. You know, I think he looks good. Karen looks good, but David Avaneysayn I know is good. So that's why that was a step up for me. And then like same with Virgil Ortiz, you know, him fighting Serhii Bohachuk, I think that's going to be a big statement if he could win because I think Serhii Bohachuk is good. But so with David Avaneysayn being David Avaneysayn, that's great. And he beat him one round before Terence Crawford, so that's another check mark, you know. So that's dope, you know. I'm sold on Boots now. However, I still don't think he beats Bud. People say, well, you just gave him all that credit. Well, yeah, I give him credit for that. But, you know, he was getting touched up quite a bit. That's number one. Number two, most importantly, we have to tell the facts. That's what we do over here. We tell the whole truth, right? And the whole truth is that David Avaneysayn was a replacement, a late replacement for Cody Crowley. His original opponent was Cody Crowley, so he didn't have a full camp to dedicate to learning boots. Not saying I still think he would have lost. Don't get me twisted. I still think he would have lost, but people are talking about Jerron Boots in his ring rust, but David Avaneysayn did have a full camp to Jerron Boots Ennis, and he did for Bud, and Bud still did what he did to him a year and a half prior. So, you know what I'm saying, it was a younger Avaneysayn and a Avaneysayn that was fully dedicated. But I still think that was a good performance, not taking away anything, but I don't think it didn't change my mind on Boots versus Bud. I still think Bud beats him. I still think I got Bud stopping Boots probably within 9. Depends on how much Boots actually wants to fight, you know. But I think Bud wins, my personal opinion. So you think Bud beats Canelo? No. I don't think Bud beats Canelo. I think Canelo beats Bud. Justin, that's my personal opinion. I know people think I just say that because Canelo's one of my favorite fighters. Canelo and Tank are probably 2 of my favorite fighters right now. I like Bud a lot too, and I never let my favoritism overshadow or blur my observation skills. You know what I'm saying? My skills of observation or my analytical skills. It doesn't impact my analysis. With Bud versus Canelo, do I think it's a good fight? Yes. Do I think Bud beats Canelo? No, because a lot of people say, oh yeah, well, Terence Crawford is too skilled for Canelo. I do think he's slightly more skilled than Canelo. However, Canelo is not some slouch. He's skilled too. His head movement is better than Bud's, number 1. Number 2, I do think Terence Crawford is more technically sound, and I think he'll be able to get to him, but people don't realize Bud, they say, oh, Floyd could do it. Bud is not like Floyd. It doesn't matter who you think is better. It's the fact that stylistically they're not the same. How did Floyd beat Canelo? It was a younger Canelo too, less experienced Canelo. He beat him because he stood in the pocket and he made him miss. He outclassed him. You know what I'm saying? He was too elusive and evasive for Canelo to touch. You know, and he was popping Canelo at ease. And if you see, that might have been the best. That loss may have been the best thing to happen in Canelo's career, because what did he do? He implemented head movement. He learned a lot. He'll tell you himself. He learned a lot from Floyd. You know, Floyd being an all-time great and one of the GOATs. You know, but with Crawford likes to exchange. Show me one fight that Crawford was in, and at some point in the fight, it didn't turn into a exchange, and didn't turn into a trade of blows. You see what I'm saying? Even Errol Spence got to Terence Crawford, even though the ass kicking got to him first. Terence Crawford brutalized him first, but if you watch that fight, Errol Spence got to Terence Crawford. He hit him a lot. It's just not a lot, not excessively, but he hit him enough. It's just that the punches from Errol Spence didn't have the impact that we anticipated. If that's Canelo, oh, that's all I'm about to say. Oh, but that's number 1. Number 2, which I think is even more important than that, is that yes, Terence Crawford may be able to get to Canelo and outclass him, but that's the thing. Why would I think that Terence Crawford, coming from 140 and below, will be able to hurt Canelo? Canelo has been all the way to 175, and you may say, oh, he beat Kovalev, but Kovalev slowed down. I think the Crusher is stronger than Terence Crawford. I don't care if he slowed down. I don't care if he's retired or what. The power is one of the last things to go. Jaime Munguia may not be as good as Terence Crawford again, but he's a young bull at 168 that hit Canelo. When have you seen Canelo hurt? The last time I seen Canelo hurt, the only time I seen him hurt, was against Jose Cotto, Miguel Cotto's younger brother or older brother. And that was when Canelo was, what, 20, 21, something like that? So, and he's been in the ring with Miguel Cotto and Sugar Shane Mosley. Like, these guys didn't hurt him, you know, even against Bivol. Bivol beat him up, but he just looked like the smaller guy. But Bivol at 175, we know how good he is. He's about to have undisputed against Artur Beterbiev. Did Canelo look like he got hurt? No. Canelo's been in the ring 3 times with Triple G. You gonna convince me that Terence Crawford hits harder than Triple G? Now, that styles make fights, and Terence Crawford can hit with more precision. He can hit more times, hit more accurately, and catch you off guard. I'm not saying there's not a path of victory, but common sense would say that if those bigger guys could not hurt Canelo, why the hell would I think that Terence Crawford could do it? The reason why I think Terence Crawford has a chance, because that's how exceptional I think he is. So me thinking that he even has a chance against Canelo is really saluting Terence Crawford and acknowledging how great of a beast he is. You know, that's the only reason why I think he has a chance, because I think that in that boxing ring, man, I don't think there's little to nothing that Terence Crawford can't do. Hell, if Terence Crawford was fighting Anthony Joshua, I might give Terence Crawford a chance. That's how good I think he is. But I'm not going to get lost in the sauce. Okay, so let's go. I say let's Boot develop and create his own legacy. I just don't think he's ready for Bud. I agree. Nah, what do you know? What you mean? You know a lot. Abdul, you know a lot, bro. Don't shortchange yourself, man. You be knowing a lot about boxing, so I think you're right, and I agree with you. Not because I agree with you, I don't mean you're right, but You definitely know a lot, so don't shortchange yourself. Okay, Keyshawn winning matchup against Tank. Yeah, he's been calling out Tank, Clone. He's been calling out Tank. I don't think he really wants some problems, but shout out to Keyshawn because I think that's what he should be doing. He should be calling out the top dogs, and I salute Keyshawn for that. But is 100% right, elite fighter. Talk to Illuminati, definitely elite fighter. I didn't like how much he was getting hit last night. I feel like something was wrong with him. I'm going to be honest, Left Foot Lazy. Like I said, I may be giving Boots too much credit. I don't really put too much stock into how much he was getting hit because I think that he was... When you recognize somebody can't hurt you, and I think that's what Boots did. I could be wrong, but I think that's what Boots did. I think he was willing to trade and willing to get David Avaneysayn comfortable and capitalize on him being comfortable and catch him while he was throwing shots like he did when he dropped him, right? So I don't put too much stock about him getting hit a lot. He did get hit more than I anticipated, more than I thought, but I will also chalk some of that up to him allowing himself to get hit. Not saying you want to get hit, but put himself in that position to be hit more so than I will say that he was getting hit because he was incapable of avoiding the hits, if that makes sense. He could have fought from range more, in my opinion. Listen to your last stream and listen to it right now. I realize you have a lot of boxing knowledge. Open my eyes to a couple. Hey, Vin, I appreciate that, brethren. Thank you for coming through, man. Shout out to Vin, man. Appreciate the compliments, man. God bless you, brother. God bless you, man. Thank you so much, man. That really means a lot, man. Hopefully I get to see you more around the stream, man. And I always open up for dialogue too, man. I'm not here to attack anybody. I'm here to bounce ideas, man, and talk about boxing because I love the sport, and I know a lot of people do as well. It's just the people that come in ignorant and try to berate you and demean you. I don't have time for that, so I'll talk my trash back. But you know, I'd rather just have fun and talk boxing, man. We could disagree and we could agree. You know, that don't mean that, you know, as long as we love boxing, it's all good. Boots fighting Karens and Buzz fighting Spence. That's crazy. Boots fighting Karens and Buzz fighting Spencers. What are we talking about here? Y'all chill out, bro. Karen Chocolaki was pretty good. God forgive me for messing up his name. I know it's not his name. But Karen wasn't bad. But like I said, yeah, there's levels. I agree. To your point, Spence, there's levels. You know, Spence was a pound for pound list. Boots hasn't fought anybody pound for pound. And he has 32 fights. So let's, you know what I'm saying? So people talk about, you know, it's funny how people conveniently apply criticism. Like, I've never really heard anybody say Boots has like a padded resume. I'm not saying he does either, but when they say Tank is a 29-year-old prospect, Tank has champions on his record. Boots doesn't. You see what I'm saying? So it's just funny how people critique some fighters by one standard and critique other fighters by a whole nother. Like even Jaime Munguia, he had a padded resume too. You know, before Canelo, he fought probably like what 5 people like that I could name. He has like 44 fights or 44-1, I think, so 45 fights if I'm not mistaken off the top of my head. And I can only name like 5 or 6 people that he fought. He fought John the Gorilla Rider, Canelo, he lost. He fought Gabriel Rosado. He fought Takeshi Inoue. He fought Sergey Derevchenko, and you know, I'm sure I can name some more, but I definitely can't name 44 of them of. I definitely can't name 44 of them bugs. Illuminati in the building. But 2 times undisputed trumps anything Floyd did. Hey, yo, I'm not mad at that. I disagree, Illuminati, but I'm not mad at that. Crawford could have stopped Spence Jr. in the second round. He even said he dragged out the fight for the fans. I don't know about that one. I don't know. But so what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to minimize Spence's heart. I don't believe that. I don't believe that he could have got him out of there in the second round. I disagree with that. I'm not saying that. I mean, he was beating on him. He definitely won convincingly. He could almost did anything he wanted to do in that ring. But second round, nah, I'm not going for that. Spence is a warrior, man. He demonstrated, right, as bad as he got whooped, the referee stopped it. He didn't give up, you know, and that's something to say. I don't think anybody's getting Errol Spence out in 2 rounds. He just has too much heart. How you and the fan, how's your daughter and everything? Close, she good, but bro, just been working for her. That's what I'm talking about. Floyd's argument would be how many world champions he defeated, which would be a good argument. That's a fact, for lazy. If Bud could beat Canelo, that trumps Floyd in my mind. If Bud could beat Canelo, I think if Bud beats Canelo, that's a better win than Floyd over Canelo. Yes, given the timing. I agree with that, Justin. I agree with that. I agree with you. Madrimov, I think will be no physical fight. And Canelo, he the same size. Bud going to trade punches, but back, but it won't be respected. Right. Yeah, they're the same height. No. So you're right, Justin, Kathy. They're the same height. They're not the same size. That's another misconception. People say, oh, yeah, Terence Crawford and Canelo's the same height. No, they're not. No, sorry, Bobby. They're the same height. They're the same size vertically, but that size like this is different. You see what I'm saying? You got to consider how solid you are, how much muscle you have, how much girth, how much girth you have too, you know what I'm saying?
What?
So vertically, yes, they're the same height. They're both 5'8", but they are not the same size. That's like saying Mike Tyson and Canelo are the same size. Mike Tyson's what, 5'10"? So my bad. So maybe it's Devin Haney. Devin Haney's 5'9", 5'10". Is Devin Haney and Mike Tyson the same size because they're the same height? Freak no. So that's another misconception. People, I see that all the time, man. People say that Canelo and Bud are the same height. No, I mean the same size. No, the hell they're not. They're the same in one dimension, and that's vertical. That's it. Don't get that twisted. Floyd doesn't hit harder than Bud. He schooled Canelo for 12 straight rounds of power beats. Nothing all about IQ. Yeah. Floyd's, but that's the thing. I think Floyd is the smartest boxer to ever step in that square circle. My personal opinion. You going down the Bud Canelo rabbit hole? Yeah, facts. Canelo's much bigger than Bud. Facts, bro. Yes, he's much bigger. He's not much bigger vertically. He's much. All right, I'm missing some chats. I'm gonna scroll down to the bottom. So if I miss some messages, I apologize because I'm way behind on the messages. He got saved by the bell. Doc, ever since Errol lost to Bud, the Boost fan base has increased by 50%. I agree with that. Illuminati. I think a lot of people. But you know how that goes. That's boxing, right? Sometimes when your fighter loses, you go to another fan base and you want that fighter to beat the guy that beat your guy. Bro, I just like boxing, man. I like Errol Spence. There's no shame in my game, but I'm not gonna take anything away from Terence Crawford's win because I like Errol Spence so much and I respect him so much that I think if someone could beat him, then I gotta respect that person. And I like Bud already. Like you know, I got Terence Crawford autograph. If you watch my intro, you see Terence Crawford. I have a picture with Terence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? So Terence Crawford to beat. I just like Errol Spence more. You know. It's like I like blue and I like the color blue and I like the color red. I might like one more than the other, but that don't mean I don't like both. You see what I'm saying? Boots is a weight bully too. He was way bigger than David in that ring. I don't think that's a weight bully. I disagree with that. Illuminati said he definitely a weight bully. No, I disagree with that. I think I don't know how much he weighed. Now, if it comes out and he says that Boots weighed 175 or something like that, then yeah, I'm gonna say he's a weight bully. But you just being bigger than the guy, that doesn't translate to being a weight bully. If you can make 147 and you do it comfortably and you're not blowing up 20, 30 pounds like David Benavidez and Devin Haney, then you're not a weight bully. You're just a bigger guy that can make the weight. I mean, hell, I'm 5'11". When I boxed at 140. Was I a weight bully? If you think about it, I would have been boxing with freaking Jack Catterall in them and Teofimo in them. I'm 5'11". So would I be a weight bully? No, I could make 140, you know? That's what I was able to do when I was an amateur. I don't think that's the way. He said weight bully gang is crazy. Boots has it, but both they fights against David look the same. I got Bud beat Boots and Bud did put him to sleep. I got Bud putting Boots to sleep. It depends on how much he fights. Hold on, P. Crawford claim he walks around 160, 170. Yes, clone. He walks around at 160, 170. Canelo fights at 160, 170. So imagine if a guy that fights at 147 walks around at 160, 170. Imagine how much the guy that fights at 160, 170, 168, let's be clear, and he even fought at 175. What do you think Canelo walks around at? Canelo probably walks around at 210. Am I lying, chat? You remember Winky Wright? Winky Wright fought at 147, 154. Winky Wright, when he wasn't fighting, he used to walk around at 210. Fellow Florida boy, fellow Floridian. There's very few fighters that walk around at the weight they compete at. Floyd was one of them. Tank is starting to do so now. But yeah, so imagine what imagine what Canelo walks around at. If Bud walks around at the weight that Canelo fights at. Thought you had more that's crazy. He said I'm a weight bully too. Thought I had more integrity. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Me blood.
Yo, man, the Bud hit Boots with that ish David hit him when he doing the Frank Martin. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. You may be right, Illuminati. Y'all know, man. Anybody want to bet on Crawford Canelo fight? Easy money? I'll take that bet. Canelo walks around at 185, but talk to him, Q. My boy Casas Abdul Aziz, talk to him. He said he walk around at 185 plus.
Yeah.
You feel me? Oh, okay, good point, Canelo. You feel me? And he out there eating them gosh dang the clenbuterol filled burritos. You know he eating them burritos and sipping on them jarritos. You know what I'm talking about? Come on, man. You know he a good 230. He might walk around looking like Ray Lewis. Come on, bro. You know he out there on them clenbuterol cows. You better stop playing. If you don't think he walk around about 30 pounds heavier than where you fight at, boy, you crazy, boy. You crazy, boy. You know he be on them. He be on. he be out there eating them Spanish bulls. You know what I'm talking about? The ones with the matadors. So all jokes aside though, I think Canelo walks around bigger than that. So like I said, I'm not counting out Bud though. I do think Bud is, like I said, there's no disrespect to Bud. I'm not the reason why, bro. If you tell me another 147 pounder to fight Canelo, I would say you're crazy. But I don't think you're crazy if you pick Bud. I don't think Bud is that good. Bud is an exception. So would he be considered a weight bully as well? So no. So okay. So I'm gonna debunk the weight bully thing. So weight bully is not just being bigger than your weight, clone. And it's sad that we have to go through this stuff because people do take advantage of weight. A weight bully is what naturally, you know. I mean, think about you being in shape, clone. So naturally, when you fight, you're going to be in hell of a shape, right? I don't know if you ever went through a boxing regimen, but I know you went to high school. My school didn't have a boxing team, but they had a wrestling team. You remember? I don't know if you paid attention. Maybe I only paid attention because my wrestling coach was trying to recruit me. The wrestling coach was trying to recruit me to wrestle while I was playing football and running track, play basketball. But they had something called Hell Week. That's where you see them with their trash bag suits on, losing all that weight. That's what boxing is. You know what I'm saying? So naturally, when you're in shape to fight, you're going to naturally lose about 10, 15 pounds. You know what I'm saying? Off the rip, just off the strength of the game that you're involved in. You know, so when they call you a weight bully, it's not that you're being bigger than the weight that you fight at. It's that you're being exceptionally bigger in a 24-hour period of the weight that you fight at. For example, Devin Haney will look like Skeletor. He'll look like Tales from the Crypt. And same with Benavidez. Look at Benavidez' last fight at 168. Look at, I'll give you another example, y'all. Look at Frank Martin when he fought Tank. You know, they look kind of like a shell of themselves the night before because they're draining themselves. So look at Janibek. Perfect example, Janibek. Janibek just fell out. He just fainted, and his fight had to get canceled. So imagine how his eyes looking all droopy and stuff like that. You look like you're malnourished, like you need a nickel a day on them little commercials. You know what I'm saying? And that's because you lose all that weight just so you can step on the scale. And once you step off the scale, you go and eat. And then you come back the next fight in 24-hour period. You're like 30 pounds above the weight limit of 140. Devin Haney weighed 165 on the official weigh-in after he weighed in for a fight at 140 against Regis Prograis. What's his name was in the ring? I think David Benavidez was like 185 or something like that for his fight at 168 against Andrade, or 190 or something like that. So that's what he means, a weight bully. Now, weight bully is not just being bigger than, you know, if I'm just walking, going to Fat Tuesdays, going to get a wet willy, or going to the grocery store and I weigh more than the weight class that I fight at. That's not a weight bully. A weight bully is when you put on an excessive amount of pounds, probably like in excess of 20 plus pounds in a 24-hour period. That's a weight bully. So, that's a good question. That's a good question. I know, you know what I'm saying? That's a good question. That's what we're here to do. Madrimov and Vanilla the same size. I don't see him hurting Madrimov, Josh Bud. That's different, though, Justice. You know, Madrimov is a natural 154. Canelo's been all the way to 175. So, you can't. That's kind of apples and oranges, that comparison. Even Canelo's too big for Madrimov as well. I made a $200 Floyd Canelo fight. Yeah, that's Floyd. You know, hey, if Floyd got $1 for every person that made $1 off of him, or $5 off of his fights, and shoot, Floyd to be Bill Gates in this bit, or Oprah Winfrey. Wait, I don't know how much money. Yeah, or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Jeff Bezos. By all your definitions, everyone in boxing is a weight bully. Yeah, facts. That means everybody will be a weight bully then. Facts. Oh, that makes sense. That makes more sense. Yeah. So my question to y'all is, why do they kill themselves to make the weight instead of fighting at a weight more comfortable to them? Because they're trying to have a sizable, a significant size advantage on weight day. I mean, on fight night. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, that's a good question though. I mean, why kill yourself? Because, you know, you want an advantage, and that advantage is not an illegal advantage. You could do that. That's in the confines and in the scope of boxing. But when you do that, then, you know, say you risk hurting yourself or not performing as well as you can, and, you know, there's risks and rewards that come with it. If you could, like, say with Devin Haney, let's use Devin Haney as an example. You know, to me, he's a consummate professional. You can't knock him for his professionalism because he always made weight. David Benavidez missed weight. He was a weight bully so much that he even missed weight. Virgil Ortiz, he misses weight habitually. Devin Haney, at least he makes it. He's never missed weight, and then he blows up. So even his method, it's the same result, but his method is a little more respectable because he does follow the rules of boxing. He's a professional. You know, you could do that. But to answer your question, why do they do it? Because they want a size advantage. That's it. There's nothing else. There's no other reason. It's because they want a size advantage over the person that they're fighting. And, you know, like I said, it's not illegal. It's not cheating. I mean, you can do that. But does it show like a sense of, I ain't gonna say cowardice. Cowardice is not the right word, but it just shows that you want an advantage. That's all. It shows that you want an advantage. And like Janibek just needs to go up to 168, bro. 168. You over here falling out trying to make 160. You got a fight canceled. That's ridiculous. He should get like fined too. I believe it's same day weigh-ins too, my brother. Same day weigh-ins. That'll cut a lot of that bull crap out. I would like some same day weigh-ins implemented, and I would also like the sanctioning bodies to implement something similar to the IBF, where on fight night you cannot, on your second weigh-in the morning of, you cannot weigh more than 10 pounds or 12 pounds more than the weight limit. You know, but I think that should be all the way to the night of the fight. I mean, to the walking in the ring. I don't think it should be even the morning of. or the morning after, man. You know what I'm saying? If you fight close to your natural weight, you are fresher, but you run the risk of fighting someone who was 50 pounds. Exactly. Madrimov was Bilov. I'm not sure who Bilov is. Sparring partner for Canelo. Oh, Bivol. He got Bivol ready. He the safe side, bro. That doesn't mean anything, bro. Sparring is not the same thing, bro. I just told you I fight at 140. I sparred heavyweights before. What does that mean? That doesn't mean anything. We have video proof of Errol Spence sparring heavyweights. Mikey Garcia sparring heavyweights. I think there's a video of Mikey Garcia knocking out some heavyweight guy. We saw what Errol Spence did to Mikey Garcia. We saw what Terence Crawford did to Errol Spence. So sparring somebody does not mean. A lot of times when you're sparring, that's the thing. People think that sparring is, oh, I'm just going in there and just fighting. No, sparring is practice. When you go to, if you play basketball or football, when you're at practice, you're not just playing basketball. You're not just playing a pickup game. No, you're working on schemes. You're working on sets. You're working on different moves and stuff like that, different personnel, lineups. Same things applicable to boxing, bro. I used to box amateurly, like I said, and I could probably count on one hand how many times I was in the sparring ring, in the ring to spar, and I was just fighting. I'm always working on something. Maybe this round, my coach has me working on my jab. Maybe this next round, my coach has me working on my head movement, so I'm throwing minimal amount of punches. Maybe the other round, I'm working on my footwork. You're not just going in there fighting, bro. Bivol is and Bivol's still not even a good measure anyway of them being the same size. So what? Jack Catterall spar with Tank. Liam Parle spar with people spar with each other all the time. That's not indicative of anything. Sparring, yeah. And sparring, you should have a, Bivol could have been fighting with one hand. I don't know. Having someone as a sparring partner is not indicative of much as far as who you can handle. So, I mean, if you want to think that, I mean, just put your money where your mouth is. I don't care. You try to convince me of something you're not going to convince me of. I really appreciate your perspective. I appreciate you, Q. I appreciate you, brother. Sparring is sparring. That's a common misconception. Oh, he sparred with him, so that means he can handle it. No, that does not. That does not mean that. Hrgovic didn't they say in sparring Hrgovic sent Dubois to the hospital? We saw what happened when they really fought, right? Dubois beat the hell out of Philip Hrgovic. So sparring don't mean everything, man. I'm kind of torn on the weight. And hell, Tank and Frank, you know what I'm saying? They had a good sparring session. What happened? Tank knocked him out. They had a hellacious sparring session. I could think of some other guys that are way smaller that sparred with other guys. Even girls too. You don't think Clarissa Shields, at being a woman champion, the GWOAT, shout out to her. You don't think she sparred with Shakur Stevenson or Terence Crawford? You don't think they sparred? Does that mean that she could fight a guy comparable of Terence Crawford or Shakur Stevenson? I'm kind of torn on the weight thing because, yes, it's within the rules of boxing, but having that weight advantage kind of makes me wonder who really wins. That's a good, exactly, clone. Facts. You don't get this anywhere else. Man, I appreciate that, Q. Thank you so much, bro. I appreciate that, man. Big salute, man. Thank you, bro. Thank you, sir. Big. That comment's fire. Man, hold on. I said fire. Yeah, sir. I need the soundboard. I appreciate that, though. Yeah, so I mean, you could, like I said, I mean, it's all opinion, right? Hey, we gonna see. If Terence Crawford gets in there and smacks Canelo, I still don't think that's indicative of a size thing, but it could be. I could be wrong, bro. I could be wrong. Hell, I could be wrong, man. I could definitely be wrong, man. But there's a lot of stories, man. There's a lot of stories of a lot of things, man. And let's look at this. And a lot of things with David Avaneysayn, I meant to say as well. Try to go back on David Avaneysayn, how much it's indicative or so much how significant it is to give people an insight on Bud versus Boots. Is like, bro, those are just common opponents, right? Look what Manny Pacquiao did to Ricky Hatton. He got him out of there in the second round. Floyd Mayweather knocked out Ricky Hatton too. He stopped him, but I think it was the 10th Q? Was it the 10th? Like the 10th round. So people probably think like, oh, well, Pacquiao got out Ricky Hatton so much faster than Floyd, so much quicker, more impressively, which I don't think is more impressive. I just think his styles make fights. And so Pacquiao should beat Floyd. Well, we saw what happened. Floyd beat Pacquiao, right? So everything's not just, you can't just connect the dots with everything, man. Styles make fights, man. 10th, thank you, yeah, 10th. Hector Tanahara beats Zepeda in sparring. What happened in the actual fight? Right, exactly. So yeah, I mean, people, when you're searching for something and you're searching for information, then yeah, I mean, you can pull on that. I guess it's like Andy Cruz and Keyshawn Davis. They fought in amateurs, right? And Andy Cruz beat Keyshawn Davis 3 times, 4 times, whatever the story is. So a lot of people think Andy Cruz is gonna beat Keyshawn Davis. Maybe he will. I don't know. We'll see. I don't think that's 100%. We shall see though, man. Gary Antoine Russell beat Boots 3 times out of the 4 times they fought in amateurs. You know, one person's undefeated still, one person's not. And it ain't Boots, so it ain't the loser. So yeah, man, I think that there's a lot of things to consider when you. I think the best indicator is looking at their styles more so than looking at their common opponents, because people fight differently. You know, it's like, you know, a lot of people think Beterbiev is gonna beat. Didn't Joe Smith Jr. fight Beterbiev and Bivol? A lot of people think that Bivol is gonna win because Beterbiev is gonna win because of that. Well, nah, man, they just have a different way of execution, man. Different form of execution, different styles, different approaches. You know, so we shall see, man. We shall see. If Canelo loses to Crawford, he'll be in his final form of death. No, I agree. If Canelo, but look, I will say this too. I think Canelo will beat Bud, because, like I said, it's just hard for me to believe that Bud could hurt him. And so with that said, I don't think the fight happens. Do I think it should happen? No, I don't think it should. I don't even think it should happen. Yo, Ben Israel, assalamu alaikum, my guy, what's good? Ben in the building. I don't think the fight should happen because I agree with Canelo. Canelo has nothing to gain out of that fight. If Canelo loses, they're going to say, oh, man, Canelo's a bigger fraud than we already said he was because he lost to a smaller guy. You know, how you lose to a smaller guy. And then if he wins, people are going to say, oh, yeah, we knew he was going to win because he's fighting the smaller guy. So there's no outcome, win or lose, that's good for Canelo. Of course, the winning would be better than the losing, but he doesn't get any respect for beating Crawford. The only thing to gain would be the money. You know what I'm saying? Now, if Turkey Al-Sheikh drops a ridiculous amount of money, then, of course, anything's worth it almost, you know. But, yeah, just off of the strength of reputation, no, but Canelo should not fight Bud. It does nothing for it. Only, and I'm not, no disrespect to anybody, but only a fool thinks that that's beneficial for Canelo's legacy. That could only hurt his legacy. It definitely does not help at all. It does not help Canelo's legacy at all. It only hurts. Triangle theories are notorious for not working out. About talk to him left hook. I mean, look, yeah, I mean, bro, triangle theory, right? A beats B, B beats C, so A should be C. What happened with Eric Morales, Manny Pacquiao, and Marco Antonio Barrera? Didn't Marco Antonio Barrera beat Eric Morales, right? And then Pacquiao beat Marco Antonio Barrera. So by that logic, the triangular theory, Pacquiao should beat Eric Morales. Did that happen? Wrong. Eric Morales beat Pacquiao. Now they fought again and Pacquiao beat Eric Morales. But if you go back and look at their history, if not mistaken, Marco Antonio beat Eric Morales. Manny Pacquiao beat Marco Antonio Barrera, babyface assassin. And then Manny Pacquiao fought Eric Morales the first time, and Eric Morales beat Pacquiao. Triangular theory debunked right there. You don't have to go no further than that. And that's a long time ago. So if you give me some time, I can think of some other examples as well. So, but like I said, Manny Pacquiao did revenge his loss, but yeah, that's how it went down. MAB beat Morales, Pacquiao beat MAB, and then Pacquiao fought Morales, and Morales beat Pacquiao. That shouldn't have happened according to the triangular theory. Now, when Crawford counters, he's still in the same spot to get hit back by Majorov. Yeah, and Canelo punches through that. I agree with that part. We saying Bud won't hurt Canelo, but we act like Bud outboxing and winning on points is not possible. I agree, Justin. That's possible. No, I'm not acting like that. But you heard me say that. But you heard me say that I'm not saying there's not a path of victory for Bud. You know, I told you, I think that Bud has a path to victory. And remember I said, like, the accumulation of punches and even being more effective and precise with your punches. That was what you just explained right there. I said that at the beginning. I think Bud could win on points. I could see him winning. But like I said, was what kind of contradicts that theory is that, like I said, show me a fight where Bud doesn't eventually end up exchanging, and then I'll shut the hell up. Show me a fight, bro. Show me in all of his fights. How many fights does Bud have? 30-something? Show me one fight where Bud does not end up in an exchange in that fight. And that's what I'm thinking about. It's human, but Bud's a fighter, bro. That's what when so people like remember what Bud said when Jermell Crawford fought Canelo, the small Charlo. He said, "Oh, I would never do that." I believe him. I don't think Jermell Charlo would be on. I mean, I don't think Bud Crawford would be on his bicycle and backpedal like Jermell Charlo was after he took a good shot. You know what I'm saying? I think Terence Crawford will fight back. You know what I'm saying? Because Jermell Charlo, when after he got hit in that second round, he ain't fight back at all. I was like, I was screaming, fight back. Let him get up. Fight back. I was screaming, fight back for Jermell, but I do believe Bud will fight back, and I think that'll be his downfall against Canelo because he's going to try to fight back, and Canelo's not going. That's what I think. But like I said, we'll see. Bud can't resist the want to talk to him. He's a fighter by nature. He wants to, and that's dope. That's why we like him. But ain't fleet-footed like Floyd. Exactly. So a lot of people say, oh, Floyd beat Canelo. Well, what kind of Canelo was it? Wasn't this Canelo? I'm not saying, bro, I'm going to be honest. I think Floyd is one of the GOATs. You know what I'm saying? I think he's one of the GOATs, and I think that he's the GOAT. I think that Floyd will still be Canelo. But I know that if they fought now, it was not the same Canelo. You know what I'm saying? Floyd caught him when at an advantageous time for him. And I think it was an advantageous time for Canelo, too, because I think that loss was one of the best things that happened to his career. I don't think Canelo eyes would have opened up if he didn't see what you could do in boxing, what Floyd can do to you. You know, so I think that helped his career. His career extremely benefited off a loss. And I think that depending on how Jaime Munguia bounces back from Canelo, how he treats that loss, I think that could be a great loss for him too. You know, you can learn things. The same with Frank Martin. I think Frank Martin could improve, just like Esau Pitbull Cruz did. Esau Pitbull Cruz, after he lost to Gervonta Tate Davis, what did he do? He went up and got a title. Some people will want to discredit him and say, oh, he beat Rolly Romero. Well, you have to be a good fighter to beat Rolly Romero. I'm not saying Rolly Romero's the best, but you're not going to be no bum and beat Rolly Romero. These are just facts. People like to shit on him, but he's not a bad fighter. Is he cream of the crop championship level? No. He beat the best guys, elite guys? No, but he's still a good fighter, good capable fighter. Same with George Kambosos, but also too Mario Barrios. Mario Barrios lost to Tank, and he went on, and now he's a champion at 147. He only lost to great fighters in Tank and Keith Thurman. So I think that you can improve after losses, but it's just up to you and your mental capacity and your desire to improve. I think Jaime Munguia can, and I think that Canelo did, and I think other fighters can too. But can't resist facts. But really at his best, when you heard him, anytime I saw him get rocked, it's like he'd go to the dark. I agree, Justin, but that was against people his size too, though. We got to consider that too. And I know people say, oh, they're the same height. That's not the only. Bro, I'm gonna ask you something. Let me reinforce this, Justin. I know you're not saying this, Justin, but when people talk about people are the same size because they're the same height, what do they say is the largest land animal? Does anybody say a giraffe? No. Why not? It's the tallest. What do they say? They say the largest land animal is an elephant, right? It's not taller than a giraffe, but it's bigger than a giraffe. It weighs more than a giraffe. That's the same thing with Canelo and Bud. They're the same height, but they're not the same size. Please don't get that twisted. They are not the same size. Trust me, bro. I promise you they're not the same size, bro. So, yeah, he goes to a dark place when he gets hurt against guys his size. Yeah, the tallest land animal is a giraffe. No one says it's the largest. When people say the largest or the biggest land animal, it's an elephant. Not because it's the tallest, but because it has the most size. He for sure hit hard. That's a fact. Yeah, I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I think it's going to be a good fight. How are you going to win off points if he wins with the punches not working with him? I don't know. I mean, like I said, I think that I could see him. Like I said, I don't think he's the most evasive, but I could see him outpointing Canelo. And you don't really have to be. You just got to be evasive enough. You don't have to be. It's like Liam Paro and Subriel Matias. Granted, like I said, I'm not saying they're the same. I'm just saying it's similar. It's an example. Like Liam Paro isn't the slickest fight, but he's slick. I told you that. I said, man, he's slick. I just don't know if he's slick enough to make that last over the duration of a 12-round fight. But he was, right. He's not the slickest. He's not Lomachenko slick. He's not Shakur defensive capability. He's not Floyd Mayweather slick, but he was slick enough to outpoint and reset Subriel Matias. Well, but Subriel Matias, Canelo's not as flat-footed. People say Canelo flat-footed. He's not as flat-footed as Subriel Matias. That's number one. Number two, Canelo is more, he's a better fighter, more technically sound. But let's say Terence Crawford could do what Liam Paro did to Subriel Matias. Liam Paro still got punched on. He even got hurt. I think he got hurt like once or twice, if my memory serves me correctly. But he was able to do enough to outpoint him and win. So I could see Crawford doing the same thing. I'll be right back, bro. Let me go get a water real quick. I'm gonna run this ad. Yo, it's your boy Doc again. I know you sitting there like, did this Doc just run his own commercial? Yes. Yes, I did. In the middle of the street, we run our own ads. That's what we do right here. So when you see other boxing channels implement the same idea, I don't mind people biting us. But dang, at least give us some credit. So those of you that are rocking with me, you're already a part of the best boxing channel on YouTube.
That's a fact, ain't it? Ain't it?
You already caught up. Those that don't know, the rest of the world, they just got to catch up, baby. You know, and they eventually will, you know, because we bring y'all unfiltered, unbiased, raw, and educated and funny boxing takes, man, with accurate information. Can they all say the same? Of course they can. So let's get right to it, man. Why do you want to become a member of this channel? Because we already told you we're the best, but it does come along with perks, you know what I'm saying? First off, you can join at the STREETZ gang prospect level. You know, it's only $2.99. I know. All right, I'm back. My bad. I had to go grab a water, man. It's freaking hot, man. And y'all got me talking. I appreciate everybody in the stream right now too. I appreciate Justin, my boy, big member Justin. His opinions, man, your perspective, Kathy. I'm gonna call you Kathy if you don't mind, because you have 2 Justins in here, so I'm gonna call you Kathy. No disrespect. I don't mean it. If you don't like that name, then I won't call you that. But just going off your name. But I respect your opinions. I respect Q's opinions too. You know, it's all about the discussion, man. You know, I just think that. I think you said you have Canelo winning, or you have Bud. No, you have Canelo winning, and you have Bud losing to Madrimov. I'm not mad at that pick, bro. I'm not mad at that. I disagree. Boy, hot. I'm talking about hot fire. Bud with snack. We don't know how big they could get him. They be moving. They be giving people some super soldier shot. Hey, facts. Like I said, the fact that I even think Bud could do it, it's a testament to how great he is, bro. So just gotta pick Canelo. I'm not disrespecting him. Some people may feel like that, but me disrespecting him will be like, oh no, he's too small. Canelo gonna watch him. No, I literally thought about this. I still could be wrong. I don't know if I'm right. Are the rumors true about Liam Paul fighting George Kambosos in November for this first title defense? I don't know, Q. Because I'm hearing Kambosos and Shakur. I heard Liam Paul and Kambosos, you know, they're both Australian. They're Aussie brethren, so I'm actually shocked at that when I first heard that those rumblings, but I think that'd be kind of silly unless Kambosos just can't make 135 anymore, because I just feel like Kambosos, I like Kambosos, but he better, if it's a fight for Australian supremacy, he better leave that alone, because I think Liam Paul gonna work him. You know, nah, I don't like that fight for Kambosos. Johnny Garcia in the building. I see Canelo break light heavyweights to the arm wherever he hit Bud. It's gonna, yeah. Well, I ain't gonna say, if you're talking about Bivol, I don't know about breaking them. You know, Bivol's tough, but he did say that those shots hurt. Canelo's strong, man. No, Kambosos doesn't have the belt currently. No, sir. No, sir. The belt holders at 135 are Shakur, Gervonta, Lomachenko. Remember Lomachenko got that belt when him and Lomachenko fought. Lomachenko and Kambosos in May. And Dennis Berinchik when he beat Emmanuel Navarrete. You gonna call that man? Come on, bro. That's his name, bro. This man cold, bro. You met, bro. Bro, Cole messy, dog. He said me calling him Kathy is disrespectful.
Here you go. Oh, shit. Yeah, I'm tired of that. It was so disrespectful.
Talk to him, Merle. I think so too, bro. I think he's too big. Pause. No Diddy. Hey, yo. He said no Diddy. Hey, yo.
What?
Hey, yo. I agree, though. I see. I see the angle. You're saying why would he fight Kambosos if he's not doesn't even have a belt? Well, like Q already said, that would be his title defense, right? So I ain't gonna lie, you'd fight anybody for his first, especially your first title defense. You know, that's number one. Number two, no disrespect to Kambosos, but it probably wouldn't get no easier than that. And number three, they're both from Australia. Not saying that means everything, but that'd probably be a big event for Australian boxing. You know what I'm saying? A championship fight in Australia between two Australians. You know what I'm saying? So I think like maybe the historical relevance or historical significance rather would be motivating for them to make that fight. That's what I'm thinking of. I don't know, but you're right though. As far as like moving Power up the rankings or making him put him up into consideration for like a pound for pound list, or I don't think it does anything that way. As far as but as far as like, you know, historical relevance and why I keep saying relevance, historical significance, and you know what I'm saying, relevance for their history in Australia maybe, but he got to be another fighter in Australia at 140. That's that up to par, that high championship contention right now. There's some other fighters like Sky Nicholson. You know, she just won. She's Australian. Tim Zoo's Australian. He's too big. Jay Opataya, he's too big. He's a cruiserweight champion, right? I can't think of anybody. Michael Zarafa just got knocked out by Arizlandi Lara. He's Australian, but that's middleweight. I can't think of anybody Australian right now. And you're right, there might be some contenders I haven't heard about. I mean, even Andrew and Jason Maloney, right? They're like bantamweights. So you let me know, man. Maybe you're right. Maybe I'm overlooking them. But you know, it'll kind of be like it's kind of like Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. and Canelo, right? Remember when they had that fight some years ago? It was like to see who would be the next Mexican star. You know, it's like a battle for supremacy in Mexico. So this could be like a passing of the torch for how long it's been. George Kambosos has been, you know, he's been like the poster boy for Australia. Tim Zeus was coming into his own until he lost to Fundora, but you know, even nobody really watches cruiserweights like that, so people don't really know Jay Apatite. So I would say the poster boy for Australia boxing was probably Kambosos, you know, as of late. So maybe it could be like a passing of the torch moment. I don't know. But I mean, that's a good question. But don't have to fight Canelo. Daring to get smashed in the third. There's many great fights beats Ortiz. Yeah, he don't have to fight Canelo either, but that's money though. You know, Bud has been very vocal and expressive and adamant about wanting the most lucrative fights, which is why he's not fighting Boots, right? Because there's no money in it. I think Bud deserves that. Bud is 36 years old, about to be 37. He's on the tail end of his career. He said he only has like 2 or 3 more fights left, and he wants to exercise the title of prize fighter, right? Because it's called boxing, sweet science, gentleman sports, also calls prize fighting. He wants to put an emphasis on the prize part. I think he deserves that. If he could get Canelo, get Canelo. But he's fighting Madrimov because he's like, okay, if I can't get Canelo, then I could go up one weight, get a championship here. So that'll help my legacy and it'll give me one step. It'll make that my bid for Canelo that much stronger because now I'm at 154. And guess who Canelo just fought at 154? Well, it was a catch weight, but he fought a 154 fighter in Jermell Charlo, right? So it has some implications. Steve Munguia look better than Spence did in regards to... Oh, you talking about in Spence versus Bud and Munguia versus Canelo? I agree. Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, Spence look... but I give all that credit to Bud, though. Spence looked like how I would think I would look in there. That's no disrespect, you know, but that's just how much level, that's how many levels above Bud is, man. He's just so much levels above. You rock with that no DD emote? Appreciate that, brother. Appreciate that, man. Shout out to the emotes, man. You know I make all my emotes, man. I make everything around here. You know what I'm talking about, man? I'm many trades. You feel me? Hey, those emotes, man. You know what I'm saying? You want access to those emotes, y'all? Consider becoming a member, man. Only $3 per month. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get our sales pitch on right now. You know what I'm saying? You can support the stream, help improve the stream, and keep me going, man, and keep me growing. You know what I'm talking about? Pause.
What?
Hey, yo. I don't mean growing. I'm talking about growing as channel growth.
I'm gay. I'm not sending no gay goon. With me, I'm sending some real niggas. Ain't now one of them gay.
Hey, yo. Yeah, I was not expecting that, man. I don't care. People who say that, the majority of them lie. There's probably 1% of people on Earth. 1% of the Earth population thought that Terence Crawford would beat Errol Spence like that. That was crazy. But respect to both of them, man. Both those warriors. Yeah, that was crazy, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't got it. I ain't sending no gay goons. Tevin Farmer, Raymond Ford, or no, Raymond Muratalla. I'm tripping. How I feel about that? I ain't gonna lie, Q. We may disagree on this. I feel like I have a feeling on how you gonna feel, but I'm not too mad at it, bro. Do I think Tevin Farmer won? Yes. Do I think Tevin Farmer could have fought with a little more urgency towards the end? Yes. But at the same time, maybe I'm being a victim of what boxing has made us, because these days it's not enough to just be the better boxer all the time. Sometimes you gotta, I mean, it's not enough to just barely be the better boxer. Even if you barely win, you might still lose. And I think that's what happened to Tevin Farmer. I think he won, but then that point deduction in the 8th round was significant. Shame on that ref. That ref is usually good too, but I thought that was a bad point deduction. And then plus, you gotta understand, man, you at Top Rank, bro. It's a Top Rank show, man. You know what Bob Arum be doing, man. You gotta win convincingly, you know. And Tevin Farmer's not a knockout artist. They know what they're doing, bro. Tevin Farmer has like a 20% KO ratio, bro. You know what I'm saying? They matched Raymond Muratalla out of it. The only way Raymond Muratalla was going to lose is if he was put to sleep. And Tevin Farmer ain't going to put a gosh dang mouse to sleep. A fly to sleep. So, I just think that I thought Tevin Farmer, like I said, I had to go back and watch the early rounds because I missed rounds 1 through 4 because they put the main events on at the same time. Shame on boxing. But yeah, I was watching David Avaneysayn versus Jerron Boots Ennis. And then when that fight was over, I went back to Tevin Farmer and Raymond Muratalla. And I gave the rounds 5, 6, and 7 to Tevin Farmer, but I gave 8, 9, and 10 to Muratalla. I remember round 8 was a 10-8 round at least for Raymond Muratalla for that point deduction. And then also in the 9th round, he rocked him. He rocked Tevin Farmer. So, what you think about it though? Raymond better not fight Shakur. Nah, hell no. Nah, I already went. I'm a spaz. I already spazzed on Raymond Muratalla though about calling out Shakur. Did Tevin even hurt him? Nah, but he's not a big puncher like that. He outboxed the hell out of him though. He outboxed the hell out of him though, man. Nah, he didn't really hurt him though. No. No. Hey, Murrow. Do the promotional company pick the judges? No. Yeah, I'm gonna put, notice the asterisk. I mean the quotation marks, the bunny ears. I'm gonna say no, but only a fool would think that they don't have an influence. Not supposed to. I'm saying. But Q, yeah, I talked about Raymond Muratalla. So Raymond Muratalla called out Berinchyk, which I'm okay with. He's a Top Rank affiliated fighter. I don't think he signed directly to Top Rank, but he has that affiliation, right? But Raymond Muratalla called out him, I'm okay with. Then he called out Shakur. So you telling me Top Rank has had Shakur since 2017? That's 7 years. Shakur has called out Raymond Muratalla before. Crickets. Now you want to conveniently call out Shakur when Shakur is no longer with Top Rank in an official capacity? Man, sit your ass down. When I heard him call out Shakur, I said,
Shut up, bitch!
Oh my God! I'm gonna be on. Yeah, when I heard him say that, bro, I was just like, man, shut up, bro. Shut up, bro. And Berinchyk made a video. It was cute. He called out Shakur as well. It was cute. But why didn't y'all call him out a couple weeks? Y'all didn't want to call him out a couple weeks ago? You didn't want to call him up a couple months ago? What about a couple fights ago? What about a couple years ago? You didn't want to call him out then? But now he's not there anymore. Now you want to call him out? Man, get out of here, bro. No one's buying that, bro. That's weak as hell, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's weak. Even if you really want to fight Shakur, you should have kept that shit to yourself. That's corny as hell. Yeah, I think it goes to the sanctioning bodies, Merle. I think it's on them to provide the judges. I went to watch all the fights after I bet 100 with my people, and I knew Bud was about to beat him, but dang, that was a beating. Beat him everywhere but the bottom of his feet. Yo, beat him from pillar to post, Justin. No, no, don't get me wrong. Like my homeboy, you seen Doc come on here, the other Doc. He picked Terence Crawford. I picked Errol Spence. He put money on it. You know what I'm saying? So I know a lot of people put money. I'm not saying that nobody thought that he would win, but like you said, did anybody think he was gonna win like that? Like I thought it was gonna be a competitive fight, like Usyk and Tyson Fury. That was not competitive. They don't want Shakur, facts. They don't want Shakur at all. But it's all for the money anyway, right? I think Tank beat Shakur, but why aren't they fighting him? Well, like I said, I'm not to give him excuses, but that's kind of, you know, that's the cross promotion thing. So, but that's my point. Like Shakur could have been happy with Loma because they're both top ranked. Shakur could have been happy with Muratalla. They're both top ranked. Shakur could even happy with Berinchyk. Berinchyk is not signed to Top Rank in official capacity, but his last fight was with Top Rank. You see what I'm saying? So that's why that looks so bad. Like Tank and Shakur is one thing too. I want them to fight as well, but it doesn't look as bad as people who are not fighting and they're on the same promotional company. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I think is corny. Facts, Q, facts. Big facts. Not even a little bit. But shout out to Lomachenko, though, man. He's a good fighter, you know what I'm saying? I respect what he did for the country, too, for his country, Ukraine, you know. Going out and fighting, putting his career on hold, man. Big salute. You know, so it's hard to imagine somebody like that, being such a soldier, upstanding citizen, would be scared, because that's what ducking implies. However, there's other things that are to be considered with boxing. I'm not saying that he's scared of Shakur the man. I'm not saying he's scared to get beat up. I'm saying that he's scared that his stock will be significantly reduced if he loses to Shakur. So that's the thing. You could duck and not be scared of the man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he's a punk. The man went to war, put out the blicky on him. You know what I'm talking about, to defend his country. It'll be hard for me to believe that type of person is scared of anything. But it's not just about fighting somebody. It's about your stock and your finances that are tied to this, right? So I think to not consider that is disingenuous at best. High risk, low reward. Exactly. And plus, I remember he already has 3 losses, which, you know, a lot of people don't really consider those losses, but he does have 3 losses. It's Devin Haney, Lomachenko. Sorry, it is Lomachenko. Devin Haney, Teofimo, and Orlando Salido. So yeah, Devin didn't want it either. And that's why he tried to lowball him and tried to give him a fake offer. So I was like, oh yeah, he knows he's not going to take this. So I could just be like, oh, he didn't want the offer. I don't believe in that. I think that was a weak move from Devin Haney, but hey, it is what it is, man. A lot of people fell for it. I didn't think that was a serious offer, in my personal opinion. You know, I do think Devin Haney is the A side in that fight at that time, but to give him peanuts is crazy. You're not that much of a bigger star than him. You are a bigger star, but sheesh. You gave him like 20% or something like that, something crazy. Like, come on, bro. But yeah, I think that the people at top, anybody at top rank calling out Shakur right now, I have 3 words for you. 4 words for you. 4 words for you. Anybody that's calling out Shakur at this moment right now, at top rank, I have 4 words for you.
Nigga, you's a bitch!
Well, I guess that's technically 5. I didn't count the first part, the N word. I gotta use up. So I guess it could be 4 words. Oh man, 25% is wild for a 2-division champion at that time. Thank you, Q. But people don't know that. People don't acknowledge. Maybe they know it. They don't want to acknowledge it, or they think when they're arguing that the other person doesn't know that. Like, come on, bro, give me some credit. That was a bad fight for Devin. Which fight was a bad fight? Ish. My bad if I'm missing something. There's Ilsh, right? Ilsh, excuse me. What Shakur would have took that offer? You think the fight would have happened? If he would have took that offer, do I think Devin Haney would have I think Devin Haney would have found an excuse, to be honest. 25% is wild for 2-division facts. Yo, math. Yeah. My math was terrible right there. I forgot about the first part. I was counting U's as 1 word instead of U is a B word. You know what I'm saying? I was counting with the slang. I counted for the slang. But I definitely forgot about the N-word part. I was thinking U's of it. Shakur fights bring so much criticism that everyone says it's boring. Yeah, I think that makes people not. Was it because he not want it because it's not a good? That's true. That's true. I agree with that part, Justin. I think people don't want a good dance partner too, but I also think that they don't have confidence that'll beat him either, because at the end of the day, there's always money in unifying, right? Especially if you're not the face of boxing. Like if you're not Canelo, if you're not Tank. Hell, even Tank and Anthony Joshua should want to unify. But really, out of those 3, Tank, Anthony Joshua, and Canelo, it probably behooves you to want to unify. So, well, I guess Ryan Garcia too with his cheating ass. You want to include him in the mix? He's a big star too. So the Shakur fight, yeah, I think that's a bad fight for Devin. Yeah, I think Devin gets. Like I said, the only person I think could beat Shakur is Tank. Definitively. I think Zepeda and Shakur is a good fight, and I'll lean towards Zepeda depending on how much of an underdog he is. I think it might be worth it to bet on Zepeda. I think that's a close fight, but I think Shakur wins. I think Shakur and Pitbull is a close fight, but I think Shakur wins. But, like I said, once again, I'll be willing to put money on Pitbull because I think it's that close. Facts, Q. With a long dick. Hey, yo, pause.
What?
Hey, yo. Yeah, screw him with a long. I want to see Pitbull and Tank again. Shakur and Dev, they got that same 2004 escort power. I think they should fight next. I don't really mind not having power, man. I value styles, different styles, you know, that are successful. But yeah, I don't want to see. I've never been a big Devin Haney fan, but you know, I definitely recognize his talent. Same with Shakur. Same with, you know, I'm not a big Lomachenko fan either, but I recognize their talents. And I don't really want to see Pitbull and Tank again. I wouldn't mind it. That's a good fight, but I think there's other fights that should prioritize that. Like, I'd rather see Tank versus Lomachenko before Tank and Pitbull rematch. I'd rather see Tank versus Shakur. I'd rather see Tank and Devin Hell. I'd rather see Tank and Zapata. I'd rather see Tank and Berinchek to unify. So I would like to see Tank become undisputed at 135 if he could, if he wants to. Yeah, so Tank is a rematch. I'm not really too interested in that. Appreciate you, King. Thanks for the stream, King. Got to get ready. All right, man. Take care of yourself, bro. God bless you, man. Have a good day at work, King, and God bless you, man. Thank you for coming through, man. Enjoy your day at work. Bro, I think Haney would have found an excuse. Yeah, clone. Hey, I'm not mad at that. I feel like that's a, yeah, I feel like that could happen too. I feel like that could definitely happen, man. Him find an excuse. I couldn't put that past him. You know, and I'm not coming from, that's like I said, it's not coming from a place where I dislike Haney. I don't dislike him. I just don't necessarily like him either. But he's definitely the youngest undisputed champion in the 4-belt era. Can't take that away from him. You know what I'm saying? Shakur is definitely undefeated champion right now. You know, multi-divisional champion. You know, can't take that from him. Lomachenko, you know, he's his former champion and all that good stuff in bonbons. Can't take that away from him. So I like to give the fighters credit where credit is due, but that has nothing to do with me, my critiques, and me picking somebody over another one. You know, I do that freely because I know I'm not coming from a place of malice or malicious intent when I pick these fighters. I just pick it analytically, man. But I think also too, man, you know, it was funny because Bob offered up Bob Arum, that is, or Top Rank. He offered a rebuttal for Shakur, saying that, oh, you know, he's been protecting Lomachenko, and Bob said, oh man, these fighters think that I can make any fight I want. It's like, wait, what? So, you know, he said the fighters themselves have a say in who they fight as well. So basically, he threw Lomachenko under the bus. You know, Shakur been calling him Duckchenko and Scarychenko. He kind of proved what Bob was saying. Bob kind of proved what Shakur was saying. He was like, oh, I can't make whatever fight I want. So he's implying that he wanted to make the Shakur Lomachenko fight, but Loma didn't want it. I said, yo, Loma, he really done with Loma. That's why he's making the Tank fight now. He's sacrificing Lomachenko as tribute. I guess the Hunger Games, man. But like I said, I think Lomachenko could beat Tank too. We'll see. I have Tank winning. I think Tank's gonna win. I'll be rooting for Tank. I got Tank winning, but that's not out like Lomachenko. There's not a path to victory like Justin was talking about earlier. There's definitely a path to victory, man. My bad. Give me a second. I'm responding to my mom. Me mom's. All right. Kathy says, at least Dev ain't afraid to let go of punches. Way more exciting to watch. I agree with that. Just boring as bro. Oh man, as for Rigo as more fun fights. You think Guillermo Rigondeaux was more fun? Nah. Nah. Artem wasn't bad, man. Shakur versus Artem wasn't too bad now. Guillermo Rigondeaux, I agree. That's a great comparison. But I think I'd rather watch Shakur over Guillermo Rigondeaux. I like them both, you know. Great defensive fighters, you know. Great accomplishments, great fighters in their own right. But boring, oh boy, they are so boring. But that's a good comparison, Guillermo Rigondeaux and Shakur Stevenson. But I'd rather watch Shakur. I think I wasn't mad at Shakur versus Artem. I didn't think Shakur versus Artem was a bad fight. I thought that was good. Loma better use every bit of that dance his dad had, and I'm telling you, man, I think Loma could tap in that Matrix mode, man, and hit what's the guy name? Hit gervonta with them angles, man. Rigo, my guy. Yeah, I rock with Rigondeaux. Man, Lomachenko looked so big against Rigondeaux, right? That was crazy, man. When they hopped in the ring together, I was like, whoa. I knew Loma was gonna be bigger, but sheesh. Loma looked like he was two weight classes bigger than Rigondeaux. Oh, man. Yeah, he looked like he was 2 weight divisions bigger. I said, sheesh. But yeah, Rigondeaux, that guy, he had another great amateur legend, right? A great amateur legend, man. Started his professional run late, but he was great, man. He was great. So yeah, it is what it is, man. It is what it is, man. So what y'all think? Where y'all think Shakur should go, man? Shakur's being teased from he's being teased by Oscar De La Hoya, saying, you know, kind of give him an ultimatum, like, oh, if you want to fight Zepeda, even though Zepeda has called out Shakur, you know, another pump fake with the call outs. He's called out Shakur, but now he said that Shakur will only get to fight Zepeda if he signs with Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy Promotion. What y'all think about that, man? Like I said, I think that Shakur should go with Eddie Hearn, but I don't know. We'll see. He said the part I'm curious about is they both used to fighting people taller. So I don't know if Loma can get those angles like he do. Oh, that's a good point. You think that because of Tank's low center of gravity, the angle manipulation will be less? I don't know, man. I was kind of thinking that he'll get off the angles better because he's shorter. But nah, I mean that's a good point too, because maybe Tank could, like, I'm trying to think, him being smaller, I guess he can't go under Tank's punches to get them angles. I get as well. Now that's a good. I can see what you're saying. I think that Tank more so is that Tank wouldn't be impacted by those angles as much, because I think that Tank's skills and IQ is greatly exaggerated and underappreciated. So I'm not sure Loma can get off them saying angles at all. But now that's a good observation. You're saying that he can't, because a lot of times, yeah, Loma does get inside people's punches, you know, especially if they throw wide shots. But, you know, now that's that. Oh, I didn't think about that part. I think Shakur need to move up and go with Batroom. Yeah. I would. Either way, I don't foresee Shakur being at 135 for more than like a year and a half more, to be honest. I don't think so, but I could be wrong. Yeah, I think he's eventually gonna move, because these guys are big. You know, a lot of people think that, you know, Tank's only 5'5", you know, and so he's not like gonna grow. You know, he's not really like, he's kind of already at his grown man stature, you know, and he's older than them too, so he's already there, you know. So when you're taller, you're gonna grow into your height, like David Avaneysayn and Shakur, and you know, even if it takes till you're older, you're gonna fill out maybe later, you know. So I think Shakur is gonna go to 140. I don't think Tank ever goes to, or let me not say he's already been to 140, right, against Mario Barrios. So let me not say he's not going to go back. I'm saying that I don't think Tank will ever stay at 140. I think he stays at 135, in my opinion, man. But yeah, anybody want to join the Discord, I can pull you up. I'm gonna give, you know what I'm saying, I give you 3 minutes to talk, to get your thoughts off, and then we'll go to the next person that wants to get pulled up. We can do something like that. So if anybody wants to talk and get their thoughts off, imagine if Gotti beats Floyd. Man, I ain't gonna lie, I'm not watching that. I don't watch Jake Paul's fights. I don't watch, man. Shout out to them though, you know, get your money, you know. Shout out to the exhibitions. But I'm not really a fan of the exhibitions. But that'd be a rematch, right? I think that'd be a rematch between Floyd and Gotti, right? That's like Gotti's grandson, like Gotti the third or something like that. Shout out to them getting their money, but I don't be watching that. Like even Nate Diaz, whichever Diaz just fought Jorge Masvidal. I'm from Florida. I was going for Jorge Masvidal in spirit because he's a fellow Floridian, but yeah, I'm not watching that. But I have like a little piece of hair I'm trying to pull out. I can't get it. But yeah, so I don't know, man. I don't know, man. But I want to talk about that. And Manny Pacquiao. I second what you said, Justin. I think Shakur is gonna go in Matchroom. I think that's the best place. And then we also got Manny Pacquiao talk about he wants to come back and fight Mario Barrios. Man, I want Boots. I know you talked about Boots and Bud earlier. I have Bud beating Boots, but I would much rather Boots unify at 147, man, or even get undisputed. Like, what's stopping him? Like, I feel like, man, I feel like, no disrespect to Mario Barrios or Stadionis or who's the other belt holder? Boots, Barrios, Stanionis, and Brian Norman Jr. after he beat Giovanni Santillan, right? So no offense to those guys, but I think the hardest part about Boots becoming undisputed will be actually scheduling the fights. You know, I think Stanionis and Boots is a good matchup. And we know Mario Barrios is down to fight anybody. You know, so I would like him to go for undisputed, man, if he can. Well, I don't mind that. It was because, you know, those are exhibitions. I just don't like watching it, so I won't watch it. But I don't mind any fight at exhibition. Now, when they cross over and they become professionally sanctioned fight, like Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, I think that's trash. But exhibition, shoot, you can have a donkey fighting a goose. I don't care if it's exhibition, but when it starts having any significance when it comes to professional record, I think that's kind of weak. But Tank, eye level with him. He be ducking a lot of people, yeah. But Tank's eye level, that's a fact. That's a fact, Justin, yeah. That's a fact, man. That's a fact. Did y'all hear about... Oh, I didn't talk about Jaleel Hackett and Peter Dobson, man. How'd y'all feel about Jaleel? Oh, man. I wanted to get Q's... He just left. I want to get Costas Abdulaziz's opinion on that, too, man. Jaleel Hackett and Peter Dobson, how'd y'all feel about that fight? I was very impressed with Jaleel Hackett. I think that he's a good, young, promising man. Peter Dobson, I was like, man, this is a tough fight to have. Speaking of bounce back, remember we were just talking about Frank Martin, you know, having a tough fight after your first loss. You know, that was his first loss. He suffered his first loss his last fight. I think he's 16-1. Well, now he's 16-2 after losing to Jaleel Hackett. He was 16-1 though. He lost to Conor Bench cheating behind. And then he come back, so he fights Jaleel Hackett, which was a major step up. He's a young up-and-comer. He had he was 8-0, and then now he has a major step up against Peter Dobson, in my opinion. And he won, man. He looked good, you know. He showed power. Peter Dobson's a tough guy, Pistol Pete. So I thought that fight was good, man. I was impressed with Jaleel Hackett, who moves on and improves to 9-0. 9-0 with 6 knockouts, I believe, or 7 knockouts. I'm not sure. But yeah, man, they both did good. Yeah, I thought Peter Dobson did good too. I wasn't mad at that, but I just wonder where he goes from there. You got to go back to the drawing board. I still think he's a good fighter, but yeah, I just thought I thought it was good. I thought it was a good competitive fight, man. I had Jaleel Hackett winning, and he won, so I'm not mad at that. I think that Jaleel Hackett, his next fight, you know, 147 is not the strongest division, but it has some pretty good fighters, man. 147 is not the strongest division, but you know, it's improving. You know, it's improving, and that's all the more reason why I think Boots should try to, man, just go get undisputed, bro. If you get undisputed, man, can't nobody say nothing to you, bro. You don't have to predicate your career off somebody else. You know what I'm saying? You go fight Mario Barrios, fight Stanionis, fight Brian Norman, you know? I don't know if Brian Norman's ready for Boots. You know, he's a young and up-and-coming fighter. I like to see him grow a lot more. But, you know, like even Conor Benn, when he gets off his suspension, you can fight Conor Benn. Has a whole nation behind him. Has England behind him, you know? And so... But yeah, man, I think the next big fight event is August 3rd with Bud. Bud and Israel Madrimov. But there's a fight this weekend. It's going to be early in the morning, man. Y'all got to rock with me. Y'all know I be on early. We watch all the fights, even in Japan. So it's going to be very early. Saturday, Junto Nakatani is fighting. Who is he fighting again? Let me look this up. I don't remember who he's fighting. Junto Nakatani's fighting. He's fighting Vincent Astrolabio. So I can't wait to see Junto Nakatani, man. He's one of my favorite fighters to watch right now, too. Shushu versus Inoue would be nice. Yo, who that was good? Shushu versus Inoue would be nice. I'm leaning with Shu. Right now, if they fought today, I have Naoya Inoue. Right now. I think Shushu has a skill set to beat him. But I think he's just a little too green. I would lean towards Naoya. But the only thing that's, of course, in Shushu's favor is he's a featherweight. And Naoya Inoue is a super bantamweight, which is 122. 4 pounds difference. So that'll be the advantage to Shushu. But even him, you know, I would like to see Shushu. The featherweight division is great, man. You got a belt holder in Rafael Espinosa, El Divino, Nick Ball, Luis Lopez, and Ray Vargas, right? So There's 4 different champions, man. Let's get some unifications there. Go claim a belt, Shushu. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not his fault. People ask him about it. People just ask about it, so it's really our fault. Everybody gets asked about Naoya Inoue now. Even Bam Rodriguez was at 115. So they ask people that's above Naoya Inoue in weight class about Naoya Inoue, and they ask people that's below Naoya Inoue about Naoya Inoue. You know what I'm saying? But I want to see Naoya Inoue versus TJ. He's about to fight TJ Doheny, which is whatever. I think that's a terrible fight. But I want to see Naoya Inoue versus MJ Akhmadaliev. Yo, Mr. Goodnight in the building. What's good, brethren? My guy. What's poppin' with you, bro? I want to see him versus MJ Akhmadaliev, you know? What about Naoya Inoue versus Elijah Pierce? I think Naoya Inoue beats all these guys. But I would like to see it, you know? I don't have to match him up with people that are bigger or smaller than him. So I think there's he can still fight the Sam Goodman. He's fighting TJ Doheny, who lost to Sam Goodman. He's fighting, you know, they can still fight when Sam Goodman hopped in the ring when Naoya Inoue beat Louis Neary. So I think that there's a lot of fights that can happen still. You know, this notion that Naoya Inoue has to move up or people have to move up to fight him, I don't even think that's even necessary at this point. But you know, hey, he can even still fight Casemiro. I think he beats John Real Casemiro, but yeah, I think Shushu in like a year's time, by the time Naoya Inoue moves up to 126, I think Shushu should be able to beat him, in my personal opinion. But like I said, I want I was just speaking to Juto Nakatani this Saturday, right? I want Juto Nakatani, who's at bantamweight, is at the same weight class as Naoya Inoue's brother, Takuma Inoue. I think if they fight, Junto Nakatani could beat him, and then that'll set up like a revenge arc, like it's an anime, you know, and Naoya Inoue have to want to come and avenge his brother's loss, and I think Junto Nakatani beats him too. You know, if they meet at super bantamweight, maybe, or maybe Naoya Inoue comes down and goes to bantamweight, I don't know. But yeah, I really like Junto Nakatani, man. Yo, what up with it, Teddy? I want that Ross, what it do? Bud ducking boots, what up, H buddy? I disagree. I don't think he ducking, man. That money ain't there. But hey, we'll see. I don't know, man. Maybe Big Turk can put that money in. Then we'll definitely see. Our boy Teddy in the building. What's good? He said, I want that Ross.
Me blood clot.
Yeah, I think Boots can we'll see if Big Turk, you know, Turkey said he wants to see that fight, right? So then if Turkey can get that money right, then we'll see. We'll see what Bud does. If Bud denies him if Turkey puts up the money and Bud doesn't want to fight him, then I'll say he's ducking him. But nah, right now he said he wants to get that paper. Or chase Canelo, you know, for that paper. So we shall see, man. Good to see you as well, my boy. Good to see you too, Mr. Goodnight. Always, man. Thank you for coming through. I hope everything's well with you, bro, on your side. Many blessings on a Saturday. Yeah, man. But yeah, man. So yeah, I just think that there's a lot of options of fights, man. But we have a little break, you know, unless you're gonna watch a Junto Nakatani fight with us, which I will. There's a nice little break, but then that August 3rd card is gonna be worth it, man. Riyadh season in LA. Bud versus Israel Madrimov. Isa Pitbull Cruz versus Jose Rayo Valenzuela. Andy Ruiz versus Jarrell Big Baby Miller. Martin Bacoli versus Jared Big Baby Anderson. Andy Cruz, who I'm excited to see, versus Antonio Moran. So there's a lot of fights, man. There's a lot of fights. Did I miss anything? And then the week after that is Virgil Ortiz versus Serhiy Powachuk, man. So there's some good fights, man. Some great fights to see. It's going to be a little slow this weekend, man. But shoot, man, I appreciate y'all rocking me as always, man. I'm about to go ahead and call it. Just got it in. Got a quick little show in, you know, hour and a half. Chopped it up with the homies. I'll be back on. If something happens, then I might be back on later on tonight, you know. There's something that we could talk about or something like that. But if not, then those of you new to the stream, you know, I stream every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Actually, let me stop lying. I stream every day. I be on it every day, you know, as long as there's something to talk about. But I'm scheduled for Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at the bare minimum. And of course, I provide live boxing commentary for all the fights. Like I said, that means if they're on in America or they're on 4:30 in Japan on a Tuesday morning, you know what I'm saying? I'm on, man, providing that commentary. So come kick it with us. Don't forget to hit that like button and also subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell as well so you get notifications when I drop a video or go live. You know what I'm saying? Yes, sir. Consider becoming a member. That's how you help the channel continue to grow. Members starting at $3 per month. So that's nothing. You know, I know times is hard right now, but, you know, if you can, I appreciate it. If you can't, it's all good. Shout out to all the members, all the people that are members already. and everything, man. People helping the channel grow, man. I really appreciate that. All that love, man. You got the cash app right here. You know what I'm saying? Everything goes to improving the stream, you know? So I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all be easy. Take care of yourselves. Remember, with God, we can do anything. Without God, we are nothing. The doctor's out. Peace.
From the hood to college, both worlds they had to meet. 6 degrees between us, so cold we're about to freeze. But we're forward of boys, hot takes, we bring the heat. We're moving the culture, the engineers to the streets.